When you wake up, what's your regimen when you wake up? Jump out your bed, brush your teeth, then wash your face up. You go to work, come back home, eat, watch a little TV until you ready to sleep. Then we wake up. The next day when we wake up, jump out of bed, brush our teeth, then wash our face up. Our day begins, go to work, come back in, probably eat, go to sleep, and we do it over again. But how many of us take the time out? I mean, really take the time out. Taking time out our day just to talk to the Creator and say, thank you for waking me up just to witness another day. Thank you for the bed that I rested in which I lay. And thank you for your protection, you kept me from harm's way. We got blessings right in front of our face. But see celebrities and feel like we don't because we not in their place. This life is hard, I know that it's tough. But if we got it hard, somebody has it harder than us. So while we down in the dumps, there's somebody looking for their next meal in the garbage. Down in the dumps, some people homeless, sleeping on concrete, they tussle. You in your soft bed with warm sheets, you cuddle. Your bed's a mattress, you ain't feeling they type of struggle, but they bad as rocks. Kinda like Barney Rubble, this life is just full of trouble. We tumble and then we fall, living our life through pain, we suffering through it all. But the man upstairs, we never think to go call. Public bathroom, cause all we do is sit and stall. Go thank God for where you are today. You here now, but tomorrow could be gone away. Talking to God, we put that on delay. But it's the opposite, go talk to him quick, on delay. What I'm trying to say is, did you really thank God today? He's the reason that you wide awake. Ain't no need for you to contemplate. Get on your knees and thank God and pray. What I'm trying to say is, did you really thank God today? He's the reason that you wide awake. Ain't no need for you to contemplate. Get on your knees and thank God and pray. I know, life is full of heartache, nothing but scars and pain. But I know, that if you stay strong, better days are not far away. I know that if you pray to the Father, He will help you find a way. So please don't forget to thank Him for all things. What I'm trying to say is, you really thank God today. He's the reason that you wide awake. No need for you to contemplate. Get on your knees and thank God and pray, yeah. What I'm trying to say, you really thank God today. He's the reason that you wide awake. No need for you to contemplate. Get on your knees and thank God.
This
and pray,
is
yeah.
the Born of Levi experience on GOCC Media.
Yes. Shalom. Peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. How's everybody doing in the room this evening? Welcome back to the Born of Levi experience here on GOCC Media. And I am your host, Deacon Hazak. And we're back with another broadcast. Y'all see the title, Can You Leave the World Behind? We're going to talk about that. Can you leave the world behind, brothers and sisters? That's what we're going to be talking about. That's the topic of discussion. And like I do every week, brothers and sisters, if I'm coming in nice and clear, please do me a favor. Drop a qualm in the chat for me, please. Please drop a qualm in the chat for me if I'm coming in nice and clear so we could proceed with tonight's broadcast. Okay, I got the real-time qualms coming in. All right, all praises be to the Most High. Yes. All right. Yes. Thank you. I hope you guys had a blessed week. And also, how can I forget? Happy Feast of Purim to all those who celebrated Purim this week. I hope you guys had a blessed Purim. And, and acknowledging how the Most High saved our people from the hands of the Persians, from the Agagite, Haman, who tried to destroy the children of Israel. But praise the Most High for Queen Esther, who was there, who was able to thwart his plan and save us out of the hands of our adversary. So we'll clap it up for the Most High for that as well. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I hope you guys had a great Purim. I hope you guys, was able to commune and to, share gifts with one another. And most importantly, it's more important to give than to receive. So, But nonetheless, we are here for another broadcast. I pray, like I said, I pray you all are well. I know. We're gonna come together this weekend and we're gonna do something for those who wasn't able to gather during the week. But nonetheless, we are here. My sound is coming in nice and clear. Video is coming in nice and clear, I hope. Right? Let me do something real quick. Okay, that's all I got. All right. 1 second. Give them some more brightness over here. All right. Yes. All right, so before we continue, brothers and sisters, got to do my announcements real quick. Want you guys to know that this episode of the Born Levi Experience is brought to you by the Hebrew and Bible Academy, mastering the wisdom of the Bible. Brothers and sisters, you don't want to miss the Hebrew and Bible Academy. If you haven't enrolled, you can still do so. There's still time on the clock for you to enroll if you want to enroll in the Hebrew and Bible Academy, right? We got some brand new lessons for you guys, right? We have the identity of Ruth. We actually did that lesson last week, and if you missed out, man, listen, you got to go back and try to catch it, right? Really annihilates the thought of Ruth being a Gentile or from one of these nations that the Most High didn't want us to deal with, right? So the identity of Ruth, right? The Jewish relationship with the tribe of Judah, the 70 angels, and the connection to the secrets of the times. So one of the lessons one of the brand new lessons, right? The full breakdown of the 24 elders written in the book of Revelations, marriage roundtable discussion, right? And walking with the commandments in Christ. We can't forget the news segment with Elder Shapat and Elder Rakar, and also the Hebrew that is broken down eloquently by none other than Elder Lawyer. So brothers and sisters, you don't want to miss the Hebrew and Bible Academy. If you would like to still enroll, historytimes.org. Yes, go to historytimes.org and enroll. And trust me, if you missed any lessons, they will send you the lessons that you missed. So if you missed last week's lesson about the identity of Ruth, finding out her true identity, don't worry. They'll send you the actual lesson, right? With the PDFs, everything, right? And this week, I believe we're going into the UFOs that's written of in the scriptures, right? So if you want to find out about the UFOs, what the world are calling UFOs and aliens, you're going to find out what those really are, right? There's no such thing as aliens coming from far, far, far away galaxies. You'll find out in the Hebrew and Bible Academy if you join, right? So don't forget, brothers and sisters, historytimes.org, historytimes.org. Now that's out the way, right? So now let's talk about it. Can you leave the world behind? And the reason why I titled it this way, for multiple reasons. One reason I could give you right now is a interview that I seen earlier this week, which changed my perspective, my perspective on data. Like, I'm not gonna say like I didn't already have this perspective, but it actually snapped it back into reality for me. And I'm gonna play a little bit of it, but I'm gonna want you guys to go check it out on your own time as well too, so that way you guys could experience what I experienced and feel what I felt, right? And another thing is understanding the times that we're living in, understanding that there's a lot of uncertainty with the wars in the Middle East and trying to keep track with that and Bible prophecy. There's a lot of things that a lot of people would like to get done, but we gotta be real with ourselves. Let's say you don't get to fulfill these things. Let's say you don't get to go to the places where you wanted to travel to, or get that career job that you wanted to always land, or finish that degree that you're studying for? What if you don't get a chance to do that? Will you be able to cope with that? Would you be able to push forward? And matter of fact, what would your life even look like during those times? And what I'm going to do too, I'm going to do something different too. I'm going to already have the link, I'm going to already have the Zoom link out. Because I want this to be a conversation. So I'm going to put out the Zoom link so that way we could conversate about this, right? So like I was saying, can you leave the world behind? And I'm going to go through some scriptures to put it in its proper perspective as far as how we should be viewing this life that we're living, right? How we should be living it. What should be the focus? How should we think? Right? Because one thing that I was pondering on, especially after I watched that interview that I'm gonna play a little bit later, it had me thinking how evil this world is. And I'm gonna explain what I mean. When I say how evil the world is, like the world, the way the world is being ran, the way the structure of the world is, right? You're born into this world, like we all are, right? We're born into this world. We get thrown into the education system. We get thrown into school. And you have to learn what they teach you, right? Then from there, you're taught that you have to get a job. You have to get a career. You want to make sure you get that dream career. And there's nothing wrong with getting that career. You know, I would encourage everybody to try to find a career or make yourself busy, do something, right? And then, you know, in order for you to get that career, you got to go into debt to get that career, right? You gotta go to college. You got to take out these loans, and everything is geared about what? Chasing money. Because if you think about it, that's what this life has become about. Money. And the status of it is either you have it or you don't. And the more of it that you have, the higher you are in the social in the social sphere, right? You get access to more things, or you know, you have the freedom to do more. And if you don't have it, you spend your life chasing it to no avail. Some people. So now, and that interview had me thinking, like, is this what this life is about? This world has made it where it feeds your flesh. It feeds your flesh, and it makes you, I wouldn't say purposely, because I believe if a lot of people had or was given a choice or was given the proper information, a lot of people would choose rightly. A lot of people would choose life instead of choosing death. I'm talking about in a spiritual sense, because a lot of people don't even understand the spiritual sense of what I'm saying. Of course, everybody would choose life in the physical, but how many people would choose life in the spiritual rather than choosing death in the spiritual? What if a lot of people understood that there is an afterlife? There is a complete different existence from the physical realm. What if the majority of the earth understood that? And the thing is, a lot of people won't figure that out until they are on that other side. And so this is why I titled this, Can You Leave the World Behind? Because we got to think about it. Us as mankind, we are what give tangible things value. if nobody used money, money would have no value. If nobody put any emphasis on getting a new phone or getting a new car or having the latest pair of sneakers or having the most expensive shirt on or jeans, if nobody really paid attention to that, it would have no value. But the way this system works is like they make you want to be a part of it. If you don't have what they have, you're socially not in their group. You're lame. You're poor. You're broke. Look at me. I'm flashy. I have all this. So like I said, if mankind didn't give these possessions any I would say we didn't pay it no mind, and we didn't put these possessions on a pedestal, I believe life would be way more simpler. Imagine us living off of the land. and me saying that, it brings, I don't know if a lot of y'all seen that meme that or what you call that guy named Orlando Brown. Orlando Brown. He did he was getting interviewed, and he was highly upset because of, they charging us they charging us for things that God made free. Water, air, fruits, and all of these things. That just brought that to my mind. But a lot of these things, the Most High allows it to grow, and we are to live off of these things. But of course, somebody had to take the time to plant it, to grow it, right? And of course, somebody should be, paying for the labor. But what if you was to do the labor yourself? So, like I said, a lot of things that we have on this earth, we put the value is not, like, once again, this phone again. The value is not this phone. There's really no value in it. What gives the value? Us, the consumers. And I believe if a lot of people thought that way, people wouldn't. I don't believe people would thrive or strive to acquire all of these things. If we didn't put the emphasis, if we didn't say, okay, this is something of value, this is something important, how would this sell? How would this phone sell? If we didn't put the importance or the value on money, who would chase it? And speaking of money, money is supposed to be, and that's the thing. We're supposed to be using money as a tool, because that's what it is. It's actually a tool. It's not something that you put on a pedestal. It's not something that you have to lose sleep over. It's a tool to help you get from one point to the next. You're supposed to use it, but use it wisely. There's some people who chase it, and then it becomes the vein of their existence. Oh, that's what I was trying to do. Here it goes. Right? And it brings me to the parable. Well, not even the parable. The discussion between Christ and the rich young man. Right? As a matter of fact, let's read that real quick. Let's go there. Matthew 19. I'm gonna start there first. And brothers and sisters, as you come in, please hit that like button. I know I didn't put out, the thumbnail or anything that I was coming on until 30 minutes early. I apologize about that. I should have did that yesterday. Give people more awareness. But nonetheless, you guys are here, so please hit that like button and allow other people to come in. So I'm in Matthew chapter 19, and I'm going to start at the 16th verse. And I want you guys to pay attention to this, right? And And in this scenario with Christ and the rich young man, this was his "can you leave the world behind" moment. This was his. Some of us don't look at it like that. But this was his leave the world behind moment. So Matthew 19:16, it reads, "And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life?" Right? He wanted to know. He wanted to have eternal life, because who wouldn't want to live forever? So we could see that this young man, this rich young man, he had the understanding of trying to live in the other life, not just this life, right? So Christ goes go ahead and responds and says, "And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is the Most High, or God. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments." Right? That sounds pretty simple, right? A lot of us is probably saying, yeah, we do that with our eyes closed. He saith unto him, "Which?" Yeshua said, "Thou shalt do no murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness. Honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself." Where is Christ quoting this from? Exodus 20, the 10 Commandments, right? The young man saith unto him, "All these things have I kept from my youth. What lack I yet?" So he said, "Yo, I've been doing this. Come on, surely you got to tell me something else. Like, it got to be something else that I'm not doing, because I want to enter into life." Verse 21, it says, Yeshua said unto him, "If thou will be perfect," now, all right, you're doing good, but if you want to be perfect, "go and sell that thou hast and give it to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me." So that was the stipulation. He wanted to, and basically what Christ was actually doing was really exposing his heart. Because this is actually showing that your heart can't be attached to the world, in this world, and still have the world to come. You have to choose which one you want. And in this example right here, this is what Christ was exposing in this rich young man. All right, you want to have eternal life in the world to come, but right now you have everything. So leave all that and come and follow me, right? Verse 22, it says, "But when the young man heard that saying," it says, "he went away sorrowful." He was sad. He was heartbroken. He was like, dang, why? "For he had great possessions." So this man was well off. He had great possessions. So he couldn't fathom the thought of just selling everything and following this man who I don't even know for sure if I'm going to be rich in the life after. Then said Yeshua unto his disciples, "Verily I say unto you that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven." So that moment right there was the moment for that rich young man to decide, all right, can I leave the world behind? And a lot of us, and I'm using this scenario for us in this day and age. And every time I talk about stuff like this, it always brings me back to the year 2020. Brothers and sisters, can y'all believe that was 4 years ago? That was 4 years ago. And in 2024 years ago, right? Life stopped for a lot of people. I could say for the world. There was some people who still was living comfortably, but there was a lot of people who was living in confusion. And based upon that confusion, a lot of people made decisions that is affecting them to this very day. A lot of people is living from the results of the decisions that they've made 4 years ago. And my thought is, was it because they couldn't leave the world behind? When they said, you know what, I'm going to go into this water, I'm going to get baptized, I'm going to follow Christ, did they not also consider losing everything? I'm just putting that thought out there. Because when 2020 came, it blindsided all of us. I remember it like it was yesterday. The very week we were all planning, and you see, and this is how the Most High is. Look, this is a teaching moment. We were all planning, getting ready to head to the Passover. We had everything booked, right? We had our Airbnb booked. Where was it gonna be that year? I think did we have plane tickets? I think we had flight. I think we had a whole bunch of stuff going on. And the same week we were supposed to head out, the world just stopped. And Elder was on a broadcast and doing a public service announcement, and letting us know that the Passover was canceled. Well, the Passover was not canceled, because the Passover is not a building, right? It's us. We're celebrating the Lord's Passover. You could do that individually in your home, but we didn't get to celebrate it in a large capacity like we was expecting to do it. And then from there, everything just slowed down. Everything, necessities that we had readily available to us at the local store or grocery store, couldn't get it. You couldn't get your Amazon packages on time. Car manufacturers, there was a slowdown, a shortage on cars. For a long time, you couldn't buy cars. I mean, you could have, but you couldn't get a brand new car if you was looking for a brand new car. Right? And then the prices of those things started skyrocketing after that. Right? And the price of everything is up right now. Inflation. So now, during that time in 2020, you had to make a decision at that point in time, because in order for the world to come back to normalcy, some type of normalcy, they was encouraging everybody to drink some juice. If you know what I mean, you know. Right? And in order for the world to come back into normalcy, we need enough people to drink the juice. And if you don't drink the juice, then I'm sorry, this may be a couple of more months. First, they were telling us, it's just going to be for 2 weeks. That 2 weeks turned into like 2 years almost. To where life changed, and life will never go back to that, to prior to 2020. And life haven't been the same since. So now, let me start this real quick. So now, I'm saying it like this, okay? Because there's a lot. I know for me as well, there was times growing up, right? I would say things like, "Yo, I don't want the world to end right now," and some of y'all could probably attest to this too. Y'all probably did this yourselves, right? I used to say things like, please God, don't let the world end right now, please. I didn't even get married yet. I didn't even have children yet. Come on, man, the world can't end right now. Yo, how many of us used to say stuff like that? It's like we wanted the Most High to stop time so that way we could get the things done that we wanted to get done. Right? It didn't make any sense. Let me admit y'all in already. I got some people already in the call. I see you guys in, but I'm going to have you guys muted for now, right? I'm going to call on you before I bring you guys in. So just make sure you have your mics and everything ready, because we rolling tonight. Right? So as you guys come in, I'll let you guys come in. and I'll click on you guys one by one, right? So yeah. So I remember I used to say things like that, like, yo, the world can't end yet. Please, God, don't let the world end yet. I didn't even get married yet. I didn't even have no children yet. Thinking like that on a carnal level. But I wasn't thinking about, no way was I thinking about my soul at that point in time. I just wanted to fulfill myself. I didn't even get a career yet, man. The world can't end. You know what I'm saying? Saying stuff like that. So now, for those of you guys who are younger, or who's probably watching this, who's not married yet, who don't have children yet, have you sat down and said to yourself, it might be a possibility that you may not get married? You may not have children? Y'all have to really think about that. That's part of leaving this world behind. A lot of you guys who's probably studying right now for your degree and you're in your last semester, you may not get that job. Did you think about that? And the reason why I want you guys to think about that is because a lot of people become unbelievers and claim that this is not the truth because they're not satisfied. Their lives is not panning out how they thought their lives were supposed to pan out. So they become unfruitful. So I want you guys to keep that in mind too. To understand that the way the world is working right now, you may not be able to fulfill a lot of the desires and a lot of the dreams and aspirations that you had set out for yourself. You have to be real with yourself. There's a lot of things that I would like to do on a personal level, but there is a possibility that I may not be able to do that because of the way the world is. You have to think. You can't be lost in what you're seeing. And when I'm saying what you're seeing, I'm talking about what you're seeing on media, the Super Bowl, All-Star Weekend, all of these things, the Grammy, all of these things is a facade. These things were created to keep you from really searching for what's really important. Because while they're giving you entertainment, they're preparing for the one to come to fight against him. So that's why I had to ask myself, and you guys have to ask yourself as well too. Can you leave this world behind? We just read the parable because some of us, we read the stories, and a lot of us read Matthew 19 before. We read the story about the rich young man, right? We read that story. And a lot of us probably reading it and talking about something, yeah, I could do it. I could leave the world behind. No problem. I would have gave up that money and gave up everything in a heartbeat if Christ told me. But you guys gotta understand as well too. During that time, a lot of people didn't really believe that he was really the Messiah. So a lot of things that the people of that time was when they was coming up to him and asking him questions is because they still had doubt. They didn't really believe that he was the Messiah. So when that rich young man came up to Christ and was asking him, you could imagine he was doing it sarcastically. Good master, what say you? What do I got to do to inherit eternal life? Christ gave him the rundown. Honor thy mother and thy father. Don't steal. Don't commit adultery. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. And, you should come into life. And he's like, yo, I do that already. Surely there got to be something else. Christ is looking at him like, oh, yeah? All right, let me see if you really want the answer to what I'm telling you. Sell everything that you have and come follow me. And it says he left sorrowfully because he could not get rid of his possession. He had so much. And now that is on your plate too. You may, like I said, tomorrow we could wake up and the lights could be off. Right? So I'm gonna bring in Gino first. Gino, you can unmute yourself. I'm going to Gino. You can unmute. All right, Shalom. What's going on, Gino?
Hey, Shalom. Shalom, my brother.
All right. Where you calling from?
Can you hear me?
Definitely. Oh, you got to mute me in the
All
background.
right. Let me turn you down in the background, my bro.
All right.
I can't seem to hear you on my phone, though.
Can you hear me? Oh, I'm sorry, because I'm muted. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me fix that for you. You're gonna be able to hear me right now. Let me fix that. I forgot to unmute myself on Zoom. All right. What about now?
Okay, I can hear you now,
All right,
my brother.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. I see the struggle.
Yeah.
All right. Shalom. Where you calling from, brother?
I'm calling from I'm with the Cleveland body.
Okay. All praise to the Most High. So yeah. So let me ask this: can you see yourself leaving the world behind?
Can I see myself leaving the world behind?
In all honesty, with everything that you got going on in your life right now.
Yes, I can. You know why? Because after joining the church, you know, for the years that I've been in the church, I've learned how to get prepared to leave this behind. You understand what I'm saying? And I've learned how to prepare my wife, prepare my, you know, my family, and, you know, my friends and the people that surround me to be able to prepare and get ready to leave this behind. So yeah,
Gino, let me ask you.
Definitely.
Not to cut you off. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're all right, brother. Go ahead.
Give me an example of what that preparation looks like for you.
Ooh.
I'm getting deep with that.
Yeah, I like that, my brother. I like that. All right, let me give you an example. The first thing that I prepared for was gathering food and gathering water and gathering things to be prepared for when everything hit the fan. You know, when the stuff hit the fan, I'm gonna be able to hold things down and be able to protect, you know, what I got and what I've worked hard for, you know. So that was the first thing that I learned, you know, and, you know, all shout outs to the elders, bishops and deacons, you know what I'm saying, that helped us do these things, you know. So that was my first thing. And, you know, also was being spiritually prepared, you understand what I'm saying? And, you know, doing things that I have to do, getting closer to the Most High in every way that I can, and doing everything that I should be doing, you know, spiritually, you know, fasting, praying, doing those type of things and making myself a better person, you know. So those are the two main things. Just to, you know, keep it subtle.
No, I like that, because that's what you said is what everybody should be doing. You understand? Everybody should be doing that. Yeah. So, you know, like I said, you know, a lot of people. All right. So is there any dreams or aspirations that you would like to accomplish?
That's a good question, my brother. The only dreams and things that I would like to accomplish right now, you know, after knowing what I know, you know, we all had dreams and things that we wanted to be. You know, I wanted to be, you know, a big time quarterback in the NFL. You know, that was my thing, because I played sports and did those things. You know, we always had those dreams and everything. But now that I know what I know, and to understand what I understand, the only dream that I even think about, I want to partake in, is to be the high servant of Christ. You understand what I'm saying? I want to be able to serve him and be able to make him proud of me. That's my, you know, and to serve higher and to serve Christ the best way that I can. That's now that I know, you know, what life is about. That's my highest thing. That's the one thing that I strive for.
All praises. All right, I like those answers. Praise the Most High. And how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I just turned 41, my brother.
Okay, praise the Most High. Still a young man, still young. All right, praise the Most High. And I'm happy that you doing your best to keep your family in order and preparing them mentally, because you know what it is the mental preparation. Like we could physically prepare, right? But when the situation is really at our door, what's really going to help us is the mental part of it, right? Training our minds to understand that. And that's why I started by saying that a lot of these things that we have, we put the emphasis of the importance of these tangible things. We give it value. Right. So the less detached you are to possessions, the easier it is for you to give it up. That's what I realized. That's what I learned. You understand? That's what I learned.
I agree with you on that too, bro, because like we had to, like me personally, I had to let certain things go in life to understand the role that I'm playing now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when the elders, when they went over the, you know, the lesson, like maybe what it was a week ago or something, it was a lesson about us knowing our role. You know what I'm saying? When the whole, like the congregation, we was going through this, like, it's about knowing our role, knowing our place, knowing what we're supposed to be doing, bro.
Our
like
purpose.
That really touched my heart. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the most profound lessons that I've had since I've been in the church, and it's been years since I've been here. You know what I'm saying? So it really touched me, and it made me feel to the point to where, like, I know that I got a purpose now, and I know my role now, what I got to do as a man, and to be able to step forward and bring that talent for the Most High and His Son. You dig what I'm saying? So it's just special, bro. You know?
Yeah, it really is. It really is, man. I appreciate you calling in, man. Thank you for what you're saying, man, and your words of wisdom as well, too, man. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you too, my brother. Right, be good, Deacon.
All right, all praise. I'm gonna put you back in the queue. Oh man, that was a great call. But yeah, that lesson itself, you know, knowing your purpose, and I found it that those lessons like that is very key and very needed, because especially if someone is new in the truth and they don't know where they fit in, understanding their identity in Christ. Who are you? Right? What have Christ called you for? Once people understand that, it actually makes them a better servant, and it makes them make better decisions as far as how they use to work in Christ's vineyard. Right? If this just sounds good to you and you don't really want to have a function, you just want to come just to listen to the word, 9 out of, you know, I don't want to say 9 out of 10 times, but, you know, majority of the times, you know, you find those kind of people not productive, not fruitful, because they just come in to hear a word, and they're not putting themselves as if with the urgency, like, okay, I got to work in this vineyard. I got to find myself in this. So knowing your purpose is, I believe, is another tool that we could use to leave this world behind. Right? I'm gonna go to one more call, and then I'm gonna play a video. But I see you guys. I see the rest of you guys here in the queue. I'm gonna bring you in. I'm gonna bring in Kenneth right now. Shalom.
Shalom, Mark. How you doing?
What's going on, Shalom? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Los Angeles, man. I'm from the LA body out here.
Oh, the LA body. Oh, I wonder if did I meet you when I was out there?
You know what? I don't think you have, man. I had seen somebody post, and I seen you was there, and I was like, dang, that's crazy.
Okay.
We never. I don't think we never saw each other in person, but I'm in a chair, like I'm in a power wheelchair, and if you can see that image, that's how I got dreadlocks and I'm in a chair.
Oh, okay. I didn't. You see, because I met another brother. I forgot his name. I'm bad with names. I'm sorry. Issachar brother as well too was also in the chair. I met him out there. So okay.
Yeah, there is another guy. I seen him. Yeah. Also.
All right. Well, we'll talk to me, man. Talk to me. You know, Most High willing, I'll see you. We'll see each other. Trust me. Most High gonna make it happen.
Definitely, we will meet up. You know, and chop it up, man. Get acquainted.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I wanted to say, like, I think about this, the question as far as like, are you able to leave the world behind? And, and the reason why I justify my answer as far as saying, yes, I would, is because like, it primarily lays on my paralysis. So like, I don't got hands on, I don't got dexterity. So I'm not employed to where I'm working hands-on jobs like I used to, construction, firefighting, prep cooking, whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing those things. So when a little bit of time after I had the accident, I got real skillful with my computer doing voice command and whatnot. And, I decided to go to school. So I went to school, and so far, all praises, I got 3 degrees, I got 2 AAs and a BA.
Oh,
And
praise
like
the
right
Most High.
now, thank you, man. All praises, man. And you know, I'm supposed to be going to one of the universities out here, man. USC. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
And
University of Southern California.
exactly for
Nice.
you know one of the programs that and that I was you know admitted for. Like,
All
you
praises.
know, I
Back
signed
that up.
up for it. They put me in. So you know that starts in fall. So I think about stuff like that, and I'm like, man, you know, like, do you still want to keep going to school? Like, is it worth it, bro? Like, can you get a job? And the reason I question myself with that is because when I got the bachelor's, you know, I worked on campus and I worked with certain positions for certain people on campus or whatnot. But soon as I took my little break after the summer or whatnot, it was like, dang, I'm really having a hard time getting like the right job. You know what I'm saying? With this BA, you know, this BA, and I got the AA, so it shows that I was doing my work. You know what I mean? So when they see my resume, they see the history that I put on there prior to the accident, the skill sets that I acquired.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, after the accident, and you know, and just the fact that I got these degrees. So and when they talk to me, they like, okay, yeah, we can make it happen. But it's always like I'm always running into them brick walls.
So,
you know, go ahead.
So let me ask you this, Kenneth, because being that you know you're someone who's on a wheelchair, right? Is this a permanent situation, or is like a?
Well, I mean, you know, a lot of people ask that. You know, right now we can't tell, we can't say if it be the Most High's will. You know, I feel like honestly, like I used to be wild prior to the accident. You know, I'm talking about, you know, street life, affiliation, you know, promiscuous, whatever, you know, just being a fool. You know what I mean? Hard-headed fool. I wasn't in the truth. You know, I wasn't in the truth. I wasn't going to church, nothing. I was just out there, you know, and although I still tried, you know, I did the little versatility where I was like, I'm always, you know, able to work or, you know, be domesticated or be family oriented, but I was still doing things I wasn't supposed to do. So when this happened, I was like, man, dude, I kind of said it for what it was. And I was like, dang, you paralyzed, bro. And I just kind of just accepted it. I had my days and my nights. I get pissed off. And, you know, the doctors did say like, yeah, they told my wife, you know, the news, like, oh, it won't happen. But I just, you know, kind of just roll with it, man. And,
right.
You know, and keep praying on it, you know?
God. So let me ask you this. So like how can, or what are you doing to prepare as far as, like, let's say we have another 2020 situation. Like, what are things that you keep in mind, being that you're in that position? Because there could be other people in your same position too, and you may be able to drop something that they probably not even looking at.
Yeah, you're right. Now, you know, my wife, and we have a daughter. She's 9.
All praises.
We kind of be on point, man. You know, our eyes we always had they say spiritual eyes. The eyes are spiritually open. You see things that others cannot see or whatnot. You know, and we just you know, we the necessities. You know, we focus on the necessities, whether it's keeping the garden intact, making sure we got a million seeds in the cut, MREs. You know, making sure we got waters, got filters, making sure we got everything else when we need to play football. You know what I mean? And just, you know, we stay on top of that, you know, and that's the main thing. And when it comes to our daughter, you know, me and her mother, we do our best to edify her with real context of the things that's going on in society, from what they teach in schools to the kids. I make sure that my daughter know. You know, I pointed something out on TV and I was like, what's that? She was like, oh, he looks sus. And I'm like, yeah, he thinks he's
so that's
so,
good.
You know,
praise the Most High, you showing her that.
Keep them edified.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta prepare her because I don't know. I want longevity, but you know, when you're in this situation, it's kind of difficult. A lot of health complications, the small things, but you know, I want to make sure I am educating her to the best of my ability so that she understands that, hey, you need to learn. That's the reason why I'm going to school, is just to show her that, hey, your dad didn't give up. He's making things happen. Going to school, still trying to do things. And I want you to see that you capable of doing 100 times more than that. You know, going to school and working and doing whatever it is you're trying to do. But I want you to know that knowledge you need to read these books. You need to get this right information, the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? And get that understanding so that she's not behind and so that they don't try to compromise or, conflict her out here in society because society's bad out here.
God,
You know?
definitely. Well, definitely
But yeah. No, I
appreciate
was-
this. And
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, but because what you're saying is very key, especially you having a 9-year-old. My thing is also trying to being that we have young children, letting them getting them to understand that, all right, one day they might not be no internet, because a lot of the things that these kids are on are streaming TV shows, they're streaming online with their friends. So now
Yeah.
how, and I don't know if your daughter if she's into that kind of stuff, or if she's if she streams or watch TV or
Man,
chat
this
with
little
friends.
girl probably in the room right now on the Oculus right now.
See what I'm
doing
saying?
something
So now,
on the tablet.
so now,
But I look,
so how are you preparing her to understand, tomorrow that might not even turn on?
and see, I'm, me and her mom are different. I'm the one that's more stern and kind of, the enforcer when it comes to her utilizing all this technology. I got to let her know, just like as much as I take her privilege, I'm trying to give her an example, it can be going like that. You know what I'm saying? And it does not have to be based upon our choice or our decision, like you said, the internet can go out, and you're going to pray you have a satellite phone or, you better get in them books and get back outside and double dutch,
Right.
I explain, I tell them, and I tell people all the time, I'm 41, I turned 42 this year. I'm just it's a lot of things that, I remember in society that we realize a lot of people don't do, and a lot of children of this generation and the parents, they all kind of, fall into the same pot. They don't,
Right.
They're big technology focused, and that's where they at. And I see a lot of people panicking when they lose it, like, oh my God, what am I going to do? There's no Facebook.
Right.
There's no YouTube. What am I going to do? And it's like, you serious? It's bigger than that. You better go, get your generator and, make sure
Get the household in order.
Yeah. And try to find out what's going on. So, if we know, so we can know if martial law is going to happen or something serious may happen where they try to, just come into the city or come into your state and try to do something where they feel like they're ready to take advantage, or try to bring a sense of order, so we got to make sure we know these things so we can be prepared, whatever, hide, be prepared, or just, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, so
Definitely.
But I definitely, let her know as much as I can, so I try not to let her get too comfortable. I mean, I do let her use her things, because I'm thankful that she's able to have these things that I didn't have as a kid. So, but I just don't want her to get too wrapped up in it. I don't want her, brain to get fried. Yeah, there's an abundance of information that people can learn off the internet, of course, but if, I rather, unless she's looking at something that's educational, it's cool, but I let her look at certain things, kid things or whatnot, but she gets it. She has an understanding, because, like I said, her mother and I talk to her a lot. So they always talking about a farm. They always talking about, what they're going to do with the cows or these animals or that animal or whatnot. So it's a lot that my daughter, I'm thankful that she gets. She understands. So, all praises.
All praises. All right, bro. I'm going to put you back in the queue. Definitely appreciate you calling in, my brother. Great call. Definitely a great call, because he gave another perspective. So praise the Most High. All right, so I got y'all. I got the rest of my brothers. I see some brothers in the queue right now. Let me play a quick video real quick, just to put things into perspective, right? Now this one was a little bit funny. I'm gonna play this one first, just to lighten up the mood, right? But what this person is saying is truth to it, but it was also humorous as well too. But these are things that we have to consider, right? Let me come here. Why did it do this? 1 second, brothers and sisters. And once again, continue to hit that like button on your way in. Right? Where am I? All right.
Things that will happen after the apocalypse.
All right. Here it goes. So look, it says 50 things after the apocalypse.
In 10 minutes or less. Let's get to it. Without jump cuts, post-production, and memery, most no-talent, introverted YouTubers like myself will be out of a job. Fortunately, there'll be no more auto-tune to make no-talent pop stars sound good, so Drake better learn how to play the guitar. With no $800 billion a year cosmetic industry at their disposal, billions of people will instantly look older and uglier. And once again, thousands of YouTubers who've made a living dressing up as circus clowns to sell cosmetics to wannabe Instagram thoughts will have to find another side hustle.
And you know what's crazy? Even though there's some humor in this, it's actually true. Because if you made a YouTube page of just you just putting on cosmetics and how to do all these, what are you gonna do when the world is in an apocalypse phase or state of being? What's gonna be your niche after that?
The dogs lucky enough to evade starving humans will form packs and hunt said humans in the cities. This actually happened in Detroit. No lie. The Apocalypse Diet program will be the most successful weight loss program to date, and it will cost you nothing. Anyone lucky enough to survive the initial disaster will likely get in really good physical shape because that's the only way they're going to be able to survive. You ever see those videos of people in the 1970s, like on the Soul Train TV show? Well, that was the only way you had a hope in hell of surviving New York City at the time. That's what people looked like for thousands of years before the high fructose corn syrup revolution. Or should I
so you see the high fructose corn syrup is attributed to bad health. But yeah, that was just some humor, right? You know, you guys try to catch that. Just type in 50 things that will happen after the apocalypse, right? That's just on the humor side. But I found another guy. And
I joined the gang.
Hold on, not this guy. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Where is the tab? I found another guy, and the title of the video is, I'll play it right now. The title of the video is Leave the World Behind. And he actually talking about the movie,
like a cautionary
that came out, Leave the World Behind. So let me just play this one.
If you have not watched Leave the World Behind, you probably should go watch it just so you can come back and be a part of the discussion. For those of you that don't care, Leave the World Behind is basically kind of like a cautionary tale about our dependence on technology, and I think how fragile how fragile our systems are, but you know how fragile society is as well. The movie's on Netflix, and it's basically predicated on a cyber attack on our country. And I think that right off the bat, that's a very real possibility for us. So the question is this a foreshadowing? It's not like that's ever happened before. What are the odds? Now, I'd like to start off by saying, this is not a new idea, right? The concept of basically a fire sale has been around for a long time. And for those of you that don't know what a fire sale is, number one, the idea is take out comms, you take out the grid, you take out power, utilities, etc. And number two, you inundate them with a bunch of misinformation and introduce chaos. Now
and look at this information that he just knows. And us, we have no clue what he's talking about. So obviously this man, he's prepared for a Leave the World Behind type scenario, right? And by the way he looks and his getup, I feel like he's ready tomorrow to just get up and just walk somewhere and just be good. But a lot of us, we don't think like that. We don't think, what if everything was to close tomorrow, right?
The idea behind this is it's really predicated on how divided a country is, because the idea is that the country will tear itself up from the inside out. So all you have to do is stand back and watch it happen. The real question that I have with this kind of scenario is, number one, what happens when the laws of man disappear, right? In our thin veneer of society, let's say we did have a collapse of some sort. We had a cyber attack on the country. The question is, how fast are the laws of nature gonna take over? And you may be sitting there from the comfort of your couch in Cheetos and you would say, oh, I would never do some of the things that you see people talk about, you know, if there was a collapse in society. It's real easy for you to say, but I can tell you from real world experience, when I've been to, say, disaster scenes before, it only takes 3 days before people start using their cars as battering rams at the gas pumps. Imagine.
You guys hear that? It only takes 3 days for chaos to start happening. And I believe that those are the people who didn't prepare their mind, like, okay, one day all of this stuff may not be here. A lot of us take simple things for granted, like just being able to walk to the store and buy a drink, right? I'll just play a little bit more of this.
If it was an attack on the entire country, what's going to happen within, say, a period of 2 weeks? And basically, this brings up a bunch of scenarios that people are just really uncomfortable talking about. You know, the will you sacrifice one child to save 100 strangers type stuff. What I can tell you from real life experience is that people handle stress differently. One thing I can tell you for sure is that people are always in some kind of stage of grief. You know, they may be lashing out at people, they may be bargaining. A lot of people are in denial. You know, just people handle stress differently and they soothe themselves differently. Now, in the movie itself, I think they do a pretty good job of portraying.
So he's really bringing some good points that we need to consider, that we need to look into, right? I'm not gonna play the whole video because it's a lot. It's like 21 minutes, but you know, I just wanted him to say some of the stuff that we are hearing just now. You know, within the first 3 days of something happened. You know, first they usually say the first 2 days people are usually are just like it didn't really set in. You're just calm. All right, everything's gonna come back. Everything's gonna be okay. But after the third day, you're like, everybody's just like looking at each other like, okay, all right, what's for dinner, right? I'm gonna bring in the next call right now. I got Chris Orr.
Shalom, Deke.
Hey, Shalom, what's going on, bro? Kayum, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. How you doing? Shalom.
Pretty good, Deke. Yeah, I know the question. So, ask the question again, Deke, so I can make sure I can.
Can you are you able to leave the world behind, or can you leave the world behind? Like, let's say it's a apocalyptic event or something, like the world shuts down or something happens. Can you, with everything that you got going on in your life, everything that you have, all your possessions, can you walk away from it? Can you leave the world behind?
Yes, sir. Because I remember being in the world and was ready to leave the world with worldly situations, like, you know, pride.
Mm-hmm.
So having the understanding of this, the Most High's will by way of Yeshua and the Ruach Hadash, shoot, I, you know, definitely can leave all this behind. Because I know it's like going throughout the week, Deke, you know what I mean? You it's like you deal with so much leading up to the Sabbath, and that's supposed to be our rest. But you know, it's the world's still going, so we're gonna have we deal with stuff even you know what I mean on the Sabbath day. So you know, it's almost like all the stuff that's going on. We definitely definitely can leave this behind because it's tiring. It like the scriptures say, it's going to wear out the same. It's wearing us out, but
All right,
we find energy.
Kayam, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question
Yes,
real quick. Like, let's say, as of right now, like right now, while we're talking, right?
Mhm.
All your lights in your house just turns off, and the next morning, it's just complete chaos, and there's a crazy fire on your block. Some. What would you do at that moment?
If chaos happened, what would I do at that moment? This moment, I would first thing I would do is reach out to leadership because I have Elder Hannah's number, and I would reach out. I would text all my brothers that I have in my phone.
No, like I said, let's say nothing is working. All the lights are out.
Nothing work. Got you.
Now it's between the dog, your TV, all these. What are you doing?
I'm suiting and booting. I'm getting ready.
You suiting and booting.
I'm putting everything in my Bible. My Bible as my sword. You know what I mean? And
you said your Bible as a sword.
Yes, yes. Hint, hint. Yep. The suit and booting, and if the car work, I'm definitely hopefully it'd be we have the point where we can have a meeting. As time go by, I know things gonna be in place where it be a meeting point. You know what I mean? Because that's why we gotta get on one accord as far as everybody. Get on one accord with each other and be like these little childrens and come together. Because like you said, it can happen at any moment.
Any moment.
So we have to get together so it could be like, okay, well, if this happened, and stop sugarcoating stuff. It's like sometimes people want to sugarcoat like, oh well, we don't want to scare nobody. No, we in it right now. We have to stop sugarcoating and say like, you know what, let's get prepared. Forget trying to saying it's scare tactics. No, it's not about scare tactics. It's about getting ready. Because at the end of the day, like you said, it can happen at any moment. So all the time when people say, oh, well, we don't want to scare the body. No, we have to get prepared. Because the thing is, like the guy was saying, you never know until when you're in it. So it's best to prepare the people mentally, even if you have to test and tell them things and show them things. And Deke, I say one thing about a time when I said to the Most High, please don't let the world end.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick. So it was two times. One was 1999 when 2000 when they were saying like everything was going to shut down.
Yeah, Y2K.
Exactly. So I was like, Father, please, but then I went to sleep. I didn't even look. I didn't even stay up to watch the bell. I just before I knew who I was too. I didn't stay up to watch the bell drop or nothing. The second one was when the earthquake. I know you remember because it went all the way up to New York. I was in DC.
I remember.
Yes. And that was the second time. And then not knowing the scripture, guess what I said, Deke? I said, Father, you know my heart. So and then you get to the truth, and then you realize and say, yes, the heart is very deceitful. I was like, oh Lord, I said that, Father.
Well, you see, but that was just the flesh talking. That was the flesh talking. Yeah, man.
Right, and now I know better, Deke. So that's the thing. We have to get prepared and get on one accord. I love what Cincinnati did and Detroit did. They had the Kings meeting. We have to get together and come together and stop all the nonsense. Every Sabbath, even though them kids may have a spat or something go on the last week, the next Sabbath, they out playing with each other. And then we not like these little children, we're not going to be able to make it.
Con. Well, definitely a great call. All praises, brother. I'm going to put you back in the queue.
Yes, sir.
All right, my brother. Kayam. Right? But yeah, man. This could really happen. These are real life situations. Right? Just imagine you just somewhere or you home and something just hits the fan. Like boom. What's your immediate thought? Where you gonna go? What you gonna do? What you gonna take? Right? What you're willing to leave behind? Are you gonna be sorrowful because you didn't get to complete these dreams and these tasks? Right? So, matter of fact, before I play, because I'm gonna play one last video, but let me go back here. So I got Adam. I got my Adam. Oh, you gotta unmute yourself or add your mic. I'll come back to you. Add your mic because you don't have a mic set up here. I got Tazalak. My Tazalak. Shalom.
Hey, shalom.
What's going on, brother?
Blessed, man. Thankful to be watching your lesson this evening.
All praises. So yeah, can you leave the world behind?
Yes.
How?
I can, and I have. Well, I just remember a little bit before being baptized that I remember telling myself that I'm tired of this. You know what I mean?
You said you tired of this? Like tired of what? What you mean?
Just tired of the world.
Okay.
You know, like
in what sense? Like
in what sense? Just when I was young, when I was a teenager, I could just remember going through a lot of tough times and not having anything. And, looking at all the people at school that had certain things materialistic wise and people that had blessings and me wanting it.
And you see, and this is exactly what I was talking about in the beginning, how the evil part of the world, it makes everybody who's young and impressionable, or just you people in general, crave material things.
Mm-hmm.
And because you don't have certain material things, you feel less than, or you feel like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Right. It kind of makes you feel ashamed because you're not where these people are. But go ahead.
Exactly. And it did make me feel ashamed. It did make me put my head down a little bit. But I didn't realize, like how good that I was and how much the Most High, blessed me with the things that I didn't have, but with the things that I did have, loving mom, loving dad, a house to live in. I didn't, I didn't respect the small things. I didn't appreciate the small things. So I know sometimes, we see some of those movies, right? Where there's a child, he's coming up in a household, and then all of a sudden he starts getting this fast money, and the parents are like, where did you get this from?
Wait, Tazalak, hold on real quick. All right, so I see a person in the chat, John Spark. The Zoom link is in the chat. Call in and give your point. Call in. But go ahead, Tazalak.
Okay, you all good?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So like, the point that I was making, I got 3 quick scriptures too, if it's cool to go over it. But the point that I was trying to make is that sometimes we see those movies where there's a child, all out of nowhere, he starts getting a whole bunch of different, getting money, getting cars, getting different things. And then the parents is like, where'd you get this from? I know you didn't get this working because, and then, next thing you know, they're telling them to go. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much my story.
Yeah. I mean, from that was from when you was younger, as far as, you deciding, all right, I could leave the world behind. But you were saying that because of a materialistic point of view. Because it's easy. It's easy. No, hold on. Because it's easy to say, it's easy to say, you know what? I could leave this world behind because you don't have anything. But but as your life is right now, right? Looking at your life right now, can you leave this life behind and push forward with whatever you have obtained, whatever you got going on right now?
It would be tough.
Mm-hmm.
It would be tough, but like I also understand that not only is it going to be tough, but this is where God wants me to be at this point. So I would have to develop a prayer life and a life of fasting of where I'm at right now,
Mm-hmm.
and hope that the Most High gives me answers to everything that's going on in my life right now.
Right.
But honestly, it will be quite tough. But I know that I don't need the things that I'm seeing everybody else is getting in the world.
Con. All right.
Yeah.
Definitely appreciate you calling in. Because I got more people in the queue, and I also want to play another video. Right. So definitely,
thanks for having me.
All praises, Zach. I'm gonna put him in the queue. So, like I said, the Zoom link is there. So if you want to call in and you want to bring your point out, because he said, I guess he's saying, I'll just read it once. He says, my point is, things ain't all that bad. Okay. No one is saying things is extremely bad, but the thought of understanding that things could be bad, right? That's the point where we have to actually think, because like I said, 4 years ago, we was all thinking the same thing. Things ain't that bad. Everything is going to be the same tomorrow. And then what happened? The whole world is grounded. It's on punishment. Right? And that's just on the physical sense. And hopefully if you, right? All right. He says, life's a laugh and death's a joke. All right. So now this is perfect. And I'm going to play, now I'm going to play the video that really brought this into perspective. And, you'll be the judge. And that's the thing with a lot of people that's in the world. They think that this life is just all it is. But when you're no longer in this realm, then you're going to have to answer to the one who created this one. Right? And I was just pointing out just the physical aspect of leaving this world behind. I was pointing out the physical aspect of leaving the world behind. Now I want to talk about the spiritual aspect of leaving the world behind. Because, it could be easy for us who are in the truth and who understand who Christ is and understand what our purpose is in Christ. It's easy for us to be like, you know what? Yeah, I can leave this world behind because we go through the scriptures and we understand. But now what if the question now is on the spiritual aspect of it? Are you ready to leave this world behind and face the next life? I'm gonna play this interview. I'm gonna come back to the calls. I'll come back to the calls in a little bit. Right? I'll come back to the calls in a little bit. How do I get this out of here? All right. I'll keep this right here. I'm going to go to this video and shout out to my Ak Yassar. He sent me this video early this week and I watched it and I was like, yo, this just brought me back, or it put that fire back in me, like, to try to live a certain way and to try to keep this in the forefront of my mind. A lot of things that we go through in life and we experience, we take for granted. We take for granted being able to talk to someone. We take for granted being able to get up out of a bed and walk and to just open up the fridge and get a cold drink. We take for granted right? Every day, not speaking to the Most High or not keeping him in the center of our lives. We take that for granted. And this world has been set up for us to chase the world and not chase after the Father. And now a lot of us is left with the dilemma. All right, do I take care of my family or do I follow the Most High? Do I say to myself, all right, it's not that bad. I could continue doing this for now. But what if you're not allowed to do that same thing that you're doing right now tomorrow? What if that's taken away from you? What then? You didn't plan for that. And that's another thing too. No one plans to die. Right? It happens. And now, when that actually happens, now you're faced with the reality of what's going to happen to you for eternity. And if you don't believe that, I mean, you'll find out when you get there. So I'm going to play this account. I'm not going to play too much of it. It's like an hour. But he said some key stuff in this that I liked. But in this testimony, it was really good. Right? And he said a lot in this testimony that it mirrored what we read or what you would read in the book of Enoch concerning Hades, concerning what's called in Abraham's bosom, right? And this account, it was different, but let's play it. So pay attention to this.
Chicago was a hard place to grow up. Unfortunately, I took that route. Years have passed, and I pretty much mastered the craft, so to speak, of the streets. Give my life to, I consider them like a family to me. And come to find out, they stabbed me in the back and set me up to get me killed. Hey, wait a minute, something is not right, and I had a weird feeling in my gut about this guy. All of a sudden, I looked up, and the guy looked at me with a smirk. He just kind of like evil grin, like, I got you. It was just like it was so evil, but I just remember everything moving in slow motion, and I fell back. This kind of darkness is not a darkness that's here on earth. This darkness is alive. So as I'm falling, I knew this was hell, and then I heard the screams of the people. And the first thing I noticed were these demons, things. They're the most grotesque, smelliest. Hollywood can't even get close to how these things look. They're so deformed. They had a reptilian look, reptile look to them.
So let me try to get closer to where he starts talking.
But there was something always in my mind here and there, like the Holy Spirit would kind of whisper things in my ear, certain places, certain things that would tell me I shouldn't be at places, but, we don't listen as humans. We want to please our flesh first, and that's what ended up happening. I dedicated more of my life to the streets, more into just getting money and just being selfish. And years have passed, and I put a lot of trust into my family, which my former gang, I don't want to name the actual organization, but the street organization that I did give my life to. I consider them like a family to me. And come to find out, they stabbed me in the back and set me up to get me killed.
I want to get to the meat of it. And
it was pretty hurtful. It's still, to this day, I'm getting my trust back thanks to the Lord Jesus Christ. Love, fellowship, patience, everything. The further I was falling down, you can blindfold yourself, put yourself under the ground, blindfold yourself again, and it still doesn't compare to this type of darkness. It's a spiritual component to the darkness that I was in. But the weirdest part was when I fell backwards, I started instantly falling forward. I was falling down face forward as I fell backwards. That was the weirdest part. That's the spiritual aspect of it. But as I'm falling, I don't even know how to measure it. They say the speed of light is 186,000 miles per second. That was faster than that. It was I'm just going. But the further I'm going down, just falling and falling, the more and more I felt like I was getting stripped of everything. I knew I was getting stripped of the things that God gave me that I took for granted, like hope, love, fellowship, patience, everything. The further I was falling down fast, everything was getting stripped from me, and I was getting more and more afraid. But this is a difference.
And you see that he was experiencing what it actually tells you in Esdras as well too, in the 70 lost books of Second Esdras, where it tells you that in 7 ways, the 7 ways that the righteous go through when they leave this, when their spirit leave their body, and there's 7 ways that the unrighteous also experience when they leave the body. And he's saying that, you know, but not in that sense, but he's experiencing what his spirit was realizing, what he took for granted while being on earth. But
type of fear, it's not a fear like here on earth. It's a different fear that you have to experience. Like the Lord says, you know, there's a difference between reading and talking, but experience. But there's no other way. I'm gonna try to get close as I can to explain this, because there's a lot of things spiritually that can't be put in words here on this earth, in this dimension, so to speak. But as I'm falling, I'm feeling more and more frightening. I started hearing, the first thing I noticed was laughter around me. As I'm falling, it was like this laughter, and it was like these giggling little but the laugh itself, they were laughing, I felt it. It was a different type of laugh. It was a demonic hatred. Like I just knew whatever was laughing at me hated me more than like with anything you can even describe. But as I'm falling, I hear this laughter. The second thing that caught my attention was this horrible smell. See, people don't realize when you leave the physical body, you still have your 5 senses. You still have them, but the thing is they're upgraded, modified. They're very more modified. I mean, times a million. Your sight, your hearing, your vision, your touch, everything you still have those things. So this is not a fairy tale where people, you know, been taught that when you die, you just pass away. Everything's completely different. Yeah, it is different, but your senses are highly modified. But I smelled the smell, and the smell, I can even just talking about it right now. So I'm sorry if I pause a little bit, because this, a lot of this comes back to me and I still get a little emotional, but the smell alone is so bad. Like, I can't even describe it. There's nothing. You can have 1,000 corpses and dead animals and whatever you want to put into the mush. It smells like Febreze compared to what I smell in hell, the way it smells. So as I'm falling, then I noticed a little light, and it was so small, it was a pinpoint of light. And I heard, and as I'm falling, it's getting bigger and bigger. And then that's when it hit me. I knew. And I thought it was a fairy tale. I'm not gonna lie, I just thought hell was a fairy tale. I thought it was a place of fantasy. I thought it was a scare tactic used by religions. I knew. I said, I'm going to hell.
You see that? And this is the experience that he had, right? Leaving the body. So basically, he was a part of a gang. They had set him up, and I believe he must have got shot or something. And for a second, or for however long, he passed away. And what he experienced, he's explaining the experience that he had when his spirit was not in his body. Right? And he said in his spirit, he knew that he was going to hell. Even though he felt that when he was alive, that it was a fairy tale. He thought death was a joke, but he found out the real.
See, time doesn't exist over in eternity the way it exists here. So all the time that I'm falling, people say, how would you have time? Time doesn't exist the way you can't even fathom it. Eternity, it has no time. So as I'm falling, I knew this was hell. And then I heard the screams of the people. The screams and the yells while as I'm falling, and this portal, may I call it the portal, was getting bigger. You can just hear, and I knew it had to be billions, hundreds of millions of billions of people down there. I mean, screaming, and then their screams are gut wrenching. The same way I heard those demonic laughs, I can feel it in my gut and feel it in my soul. Those screams were worse because it was suffering. It was blasphemous things being yelled. It was just horrible. You know, people begging for one more chance. I mean, the thing is, when you're in the spirit, you can hear 1,000 noises at one time, but you can decipher and know each one, whether they're playing simultaneously or not. You can distinctively know and hear everything. You know, like I said, it's hard to explain, but that's the closest I can get to it. But as I fall and I see this portal, it looked like an old cave, like I'm entering an old cave system. Okay, and then that's when I felt the heat. See, now I'm looking back on it, it probably already was hot when I got closer to it, but I was so shocked and so terrified by everything else, I didn't pay attention to the heat until I actually got into the first portion of the portal. And then that's when the heat hit me on top of everything. It was just a bombardment of everything. And, you know, here on earth, in our physical bodies, we feel things separately, meaning like, our nervous system. So if you get poked in your back, you get punched or something like that, you can feel it just kind of in that spot. But no, there you feel it all simultaneously at one time. Pain, everything. It gripped. It's your whole body, because now I'm learning I was in my spirit body. I was so used to being in my physical body, it didn't make any sense to me. But when I felt this heat, it's a different fabric. It's a different fabric of heat. It's not like how you burn your finger here. It's a spiritual component to it, because it's a different type of hot. I don't even, I'm trying my best to describe the heat, but the heat is it's beyond. I mean, just say if I wanted to put it on a temperature scale, I would say 12,000 degrees and up, and nothing physical here, especially in the flesh, could withstand that. So, but as I'm falling and I enter this portal and I feel the heat, I'm hearing the yells. It's like just overwhelming. And at this time, by the time I got to the bottom, I just knew I was in hell, and I knew I was going to hell. But once I passed the portal, all I remember is when I hit the bottom, I didn't feel anything when I first hit. So I'm trying to think, I was asking, was it the Lord that softened the blow when I first hit? But when I fell and I raised my eyes, it felt like I had no strength. I felt like I hadn't eaten for like months. I couldn't breathe. It was horrible. Just a feeling of just nothing. And then, but the only thing that kept coming to my mind was, and I know the Lord did this purposely, was thinking of everything that I took for granted. Movement, a drink of water,
Y'all heard that? He started thinking about everything that he took for granted. Movement, water.
Just to have the ability to move my arms just freely, the ability to breathe, all the things that we take for granted, it was going through my mind. I knew it came from God.
And you see, he had to eventually acknowledge that we don't have power. We don't have no power to do anything. It's the Most High. The Most High gives us all, even a scoffer who have the ability to type right now their disbeliefs. The Most High is allowing you to do that. And that's what we don't think about. We don't think that is the Most High that's allowing us to do the things that we're doing. To move, to think, to see.
I just and I knew I took it for granted. And there, first thing is I look over. See, it was dark, but I'm trying to, wonder if the Lord was making me be able to see. But the flames itself were emitting so high from these pews, like these vents from the rocks. And that's another thing too I want to add. I don't want to move too fast, but one thing I do want to add. For some reason, I knew I was still here on Earth. I still knew I wasn't in outer space somewhere. I wasn't.
You heard that? He said he still knew that he was on Earth. He wasn't in outer space somewhere. You see that? It's just like how the book of Enoch teaches it. That it's inside of the earth where hell is. There's a place of rest and there's a place of torments. So he actually ended up in the place of torments, which is in the earth. And it's not a physical place. It's in a different dimension, a different realm, spiritual realm that the human eye can't see.
Under space, I was in a different dimension, but I was still on earth. I knew that. I knew it's here on earth. So the Lord is right. Hell is a place on earth. The scriptures are right. It is here on earth. It's just a different dimension. So as I'm looking around and I'm just already, but I see when the flames, they come up. And then you can see the illumination from the flames. You can see. And the first thing I noticed were these demons, things. They're the most grotesque, smelliest. Hollywood can't even get close to how these things look. They're so deformed. They had legs and twisted arms, but they had a reptilian look, a reptile look to them. And their eyes were glowing yellow. Some of them eyes were red. Some of them were like 13 feet tall. Some of them were this big. They're everywhere, and it's just bugs, there's spiders.
Souls of the giants. He said some of them were like 13 feet tall. When the Most High cast out 90% of the demons that were on earth and only left 10, where do you think they at? They're there.
just everything. But what really caught my attention was these pits everywhere. And this one demon glanced at me and he started laughing. But down in the pits were just people.
And you see, and he's also confirming what we read about in Enoch, how there's different pits or different holes or different holding cells for people. And he's saying in them things was like billions of people.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just people. But then I thought it was just one pit. As you really look around and the flames illuminate all of the space around, there's, I would say, hundreds of thousands of pits. And then within each pit are thousands of people. Okay. And then around the pits, you have nothing but these grotesque demon reptilian or reptile-like things, making sure they don't crawl out. It was horrible. You have people who look like bone. I would say they look like bones. Some of them were bones, but actually flesh hanging off, which is incomprehensible to some people to even imagine how, but the things that I saw and the tortures that I saw is that you regenerate. So just say if your arm falls off, it'll grow right back so you can get tortured again. It's a place of pure torture, like torture. Hell is it's no relief. There's nothing. But as I'm looking at this one demon, he was about 8 feet tall. He looked at me and laughed. And then all I remember was these thousands of maggots, worms, and they're like thick. They're thick. They're thick as soda cans. Okay, they're not like regular maggots here in this dimension. They are thick and they're big, and they started to chew at my feet. And then once it was a few of them, when I looked down, it was hundreds of them. They started to make a mound around me up to my knees of these demonic maggots. I don't even know what to really how to explain it. But that was the least of my worries, because I felt getting a hand picked me up from the back of my head and it flung me and it flew. And now as I flew, okay, now remember, you have no energy, there's no nothing. Even just when I laid down, I couldn't get back up. But now I'm realizing, in hindsight, that the Lord was with me, because a lot of these demons, they wanted to attack me. They wanted to rip me apart. And I could just feel the hatred that they have for mankind, the hatred that they have for us. It is beyond anything. It is beyond, and you can feel it's ancient, and you can feel it is powerful. It is power in their hate. It is so powerful. Yeah. All right.
So here's this situation with this brother who the Most High allowed him to experience that because of the life that he was living. He didn't think that he would ever end up there. He didn't even think it was real. And it's a long interview. I'm gonna post the link in the chat for those of you who didn't see it. I suggest you all watch it. It's very good. He said two things in this interview that stuck out to me. One thing that he said in this interview was, a lot of us we're operating, we walk around every day not realizing that you're 5 seconds away from eternity. In a blink of an eye, something could happen and you'll be where you're gonna be for the rest of your life. And we take that for granted. And he was also saying in this interview that how he regretted not making the Most High the center of his life. Living how he wanted to live. Doing the things that he wanted to do. Indulging in this world. And we gotta, and I believe that the Most High allow certain individuals to experience this as a testament to us. You know what I'm saying? A record for us, so we could get ourselves in order. And then no doubt in my mind, I believe that this account was not true. Right? And he also, another thing that he also said in this interview is that even fellowship is a privilege from the Most High. Fellowship. Can y'all imagine? Just being able to talk to someone, just to say hi. How you doing? That's a privilege from the Most High. Because he was saying, as you continue to watch the interview, he says that even though you're around other people that's down there, no one could communicate to each other. You can't even utter a word. You're just experiencing this and just torture, and then you can't even communicate to a person. And he was like, he understood that communication, fellowship was a privilege from the Most High. These things are privileges. And people scoff, people question the Most High when he's the one who gave us life. He gave it and he could take it away. Because you ask a non-believer, can you make your own hair gray? Can you make your own hair without using products? Can you tell your hair and on your head, hey, turn gray? Can you tell your body to age and not to age and to stop aging? You don't, as in the physical, we don't even have control of our own being. That goes to show you that there's something greater that's operating outside of mankind, outside of this existence, that's in control of your very being, whether you believe or you don't believe. But at the end, you will find out. You will find out. I'm going to go back to the calls, but I'm going to read this before I go back to the calls. I'm in the book of James. Once again, brothers and sisters, continue to hit that like button on your way in. So I'm in the book of James, like I said. Let me go there. I'm in James chapter 4. So now I want you guys to pay attention to this. James 4 and 13. And it's like what he was saying. A lot of the things that goes on our day-to-day lives are privileges, man. And the Most High allows these things. And we got to acknowledge the Most High for this. We got to acknowledge him for that. We can't take these things for granted. Every opportunity that he's allowing you to be alive right now, we can't take it for granted. And no, he's not just letting you be alive so you could just have fun and experience this world. It's not just, life is not just about fun. No one said you can't have fun. You can have fun. But are you in line with how he wants you to live? This life tells you this life tells you that there's rules. There's laws to follow. As mankind, we have to follow rules. And if you break those rules, there's penalties to those rules. Either you pay a summons, you do jail time, you got to pay a fine, you got to do community service. There's always a judgment for breaking a law. So that concept came from somewhere. Mankind didn't just wake up one day and say, all right, let's just create rules. Let's just create laws. That concept came from God himself. So if the world that we're living in has rules and regulations that we must follow, doesn't God have rules and regulations that we should follow? And if we go against his rules and regulations, just like as if we go against the rules and regulations in this world, there's a judgment behind it. Same thing with the Most High. But let me read this. James chapter 4 and 13. Go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow, we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and get gain. Right? Whereas ye know not what shall be on tomorrow. None of us know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know. You don't even know if you're going to make it to see tomorrow. For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away. For that, so understanding that our lives are just like a vapor, meaning it's here for a time, and that's what a vapor is. You ever see a vapor, a puff of smoke, see it for a little bit, then it disappears. This is how the Most High compares our lives. You're here for a short moment, and then you're gone. In the physical, you're gone. So he says, for that reason, for that, ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. But now ye rejoice in your boastings. Some of us, we rejoice in our boastings. Oh, I can't. When I get paid, I'm doing this. Oh, I'm going on vacation. I'm going away this year. I'm going here. I'm doing this. Who's to say you're going to make it to see there? Only the Most High know if you're going to make it to see there. And the Most High laughs at our plans all the time. You could plan and the Most High laughs. He says, but now ye rejoice in your boastings. All such rejoicing is evil. Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good, and doeth it not, to him it is sin. Right? So everybody is born with a conscience. Everybody is born to understand good from evil, right from wrong. And if you go against your own conscience, that will be your judge at the end. You will know what you took advantage of. And what you wish you had more time to be like, you know what? I wish when I was on this earth, I didn't do certain things. I didn't go after this. I didn't be with this person. You understand? So we got to even look at, can you leave the world behind even in a spiritual sense? Are you able to leave the world behind to make sure that your afterlife will be better than your current life? Or will you neglect all of the signs and continue to live how you want to live and say, I'll figure it out when I get there? Because according to that brother's account, you don't want to figure it out when you get there. You don't even want to be in that predicament. I wouldn't want anybody to be in that predicament. 1 second. Let me fix this real quick. Right? Matter of fact, I'm going to just read one more. Let me read one more for you guys. And then it's Godspeed. Then I go back to the calls. I do apologize. I got you guys on the call. Let me just bring up this last scripture. I'm in the book of Luke. The book of Luke. And let's go to verse 12. Oh, sorry, chapter 12. Why is it looking like this? All right. All right. And verse. All right, here. So let me make this look better. The presentation of it. All right. So I'm in Luke 12. Can you guys see that? All right. Luke 12 and 15, right? Why is it not? All right. So it says here, he said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness. For a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of the things of which he possesseth. So that right there is showing us that your material gain does not make you who you are. Because you could lose it all tomorrow. Who are you then? And he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentiful. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do? Because I have no room where to bestow my fruits. So there's this man who had so much wealth. He had so much things. He had no space to put everything. Verse 18, it says, and he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater. And there will I bestow all my fruits and all my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast made, that which thou hast provided? So is he, that layeth up treasures for himself and is not rich towards God. See, brothers and sisters, we gotta put this into its proper perspective. Those who are chasing the bag and looking to be rich, and you're not rich towards God, you don't want to hear those words. Depart from me, you workers of iniquity, for I never knew you. And this is why I ask, can you see yourself leaving the world behind? Because like I said, this world is geared and it's set up for us to chase the bag. It's set up for us to chase it. But what good is it? What good is chasing it if at the end you lose your own soul? You don't have the power to decide or to choose where you're gonna be when your soul leave your body. The only thing you can do is prepare for that. Live right. Follow the commands. And pray that you're found worthy, right? I'm going to go to the calls now real quick. I got Adam now. You can unmute Adam. Shalom.
Shalom, D. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. What's going on, brother?
All right. Praise the Most High. Water for the lesson. Shalom to the family on the line and on YouTube and so forth. Man, so much just came like a whirlwind with that video you just played. And it really is deep because a lot of people really don't see it that way or truly process the way everything really is because like you mentioned and so forth, everybody's just so caught up in everyday life or as what I acknowledge being on the trains and whatnot is people stuck on their phones and it's fantasy world as I always call it.
Yeah.
And we get so focused on what we're going to do to please our flesh and to please ourselves after the work week. If we're going to go out drinking, clubbing, if we're going to try to deal with women, if we're going to try to, like you said, go on trips or whatever the case may be, we're so lost as human beings that we're looking for that escape and don't really understand that there is no escape. Like you also mentioned, that these things were brought out for us to keep seeking and to keep trying to find happiness, but end up broken at the end of the day. Yep. After that few minutes or that pleasure or whatever the case may be comes to pass. Mm-hmm. And even down to the question and so forth, as I've mentioned to you and others, concerning my life of trying to be a model, fitness model, trying to be a dancer for females, and just trying to find my way as a broken individual with no father figure, with no culture or anything of that nature to process what my purpose was to begin with. That all of these stories are real for any brother and sister that still dabbling in the world or trying to make it in the fast life or trying to get signed to a deal or whatever the case may be concerning these things, where these agencies, a lot of the photographers, designers, they all wanted to sleep with me. They were sick. And I could tell it's a spirit to how the spirit on them will try to draw you in to the point where you start going to parties or doing other things to where you end up falling into that too. And I praise the Most High constantly for not getting me to that point of signing a deal or being in a room with some type of weirdos to that degree and so forth, because this stuff is real. And a lot of people don't like to believe that as well, because we've been idolizing these individuals so much, even down to the Super Bowl situation, to where we get so caught up on these things.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, and my fault to be long-winded.
No, go ahead, because somebody probably needs to hear that.
Indeed, Khan. I wanted to mention also, as what my ministry is based off of, and even prior to seeking Christ and finding Him, praise the Most High for that. Like even when I was bouncing and so forth, I used to bring clothes and things of that nature for the homeless, and little by little, understanding them and what they were going through and being an ear for them, as you mentioned earlier as well. I'm able to learn from these individuals from that point, even prior to that, till now, to where they're literally my family members, but besides the body and so forth, that became family, other than bloodline family and stuff. A lot of them could teach us where to find food, how they get clothes, different things that they deal with on a daily basis.
Like basically things that we, things we take for granted.
Exactly, just exactly what you mentioned, that they cherish what they get from individuals or just what they're being blessed with in general. But they know, literally, like I got off the train and the couple I'm cool with around my way, he always showing love. I show love to them. He asked if I had food on me and whatnot, because they know this is what I do. And it's just a blessing to really be like a spiritual therapist, I say. That where we don't need these individuals, psychiatrists and whatnot, to where we got Yeshaya and the scriptures that feed us what we need and to relieve our souls from being broken and going through so much chaos and pain in different formats and whatnot, as everybody's trials and tribulations and what everybody been through, as even down to the social media, to where people mask all of these things and put up fronts.
Right. So
and it's a scary situation concerning that.
And that's what it is, because all of that's a facade. It's just there to deter you, to deter you from the real mission at hand, which is your soul. Because that's what these principalities, demons, and Satan, that's what they want you to deceive yourself to the point where now you end up in that place where that brother was talking about. And it's sad because, and like I said, like I was saying in the beginning, because it's sad because normally people wouldn't choose to end up there. And if a lot of people realized and knew what was on the other side, I believe a lot of people by default would choose to do the right thing. But this world is definitely a setup, right? And it starts from when you're young, right? You don't have a certain pair of sneaker on. You don't have a certain pair of jeans or a t-shirt on. Psychologically, it makes you feel like you're less than. Now your aim is to grow and to get these and to get money to be able to provide yourself to get these things that has no value, because we put the value on it. Like we put the value of putting another man's name on our chest. Like, I'm somebody because my shirt says Armani Exchange. That's a man's name. So you're somebody because you have another man's name on your back. We don't even look at it to that extent. But go ahead.
No, yeah, you're 100% right. And also concerning that, working with Brother Jonathan on Staten Island in one of the clothing stores. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Like about 10, 15 minutes into the shift, we saw migrants coming out of two different stores, and they were dropping a whole bunch of clothes and trying to get it into bags and stuff like that. So it's getting real out there as well, to add that perspective.
Yeah, that migrant situation is another situation within itself. But go ahead.
Indeed, Khan, I ain't mean to bring it up concerning them, but obviously it's coming down the wire with them. But just concerning, like you just mentioned, coveting in the store, these people are blind to what is taking place. Even certain co-workers, and praise the Most High that me and Jonathan were doing ministry work within the store, and even through individuals that come in. Like I told some of the brothers also last Shabbat, that there was an Edomite sister with a cut on her face, and she seemed like she was going to steal. But then she was there for about 20, 30 minutes, and I went to the back to the kids section because I was going to buy one of the sister's sons a toy. And she asked me out of nowhere, do you think these shoes are cool for kids? And I was like, nah, I don't really like them, but I'm trying to get something for a sister from my church and her children. So she starts asking, what church are you from? What's the denomination? This, that, and the third. I'm like, it's Christian based. And little by little, speaking the gospel, I'm talking about Christ and so forth. And she starts getting convicted, and she started dropping tears.
Praise the Most High.
So she started opening up and telling me I was about to steal, but I'm actually gonna leave everything alone. And she started telling me about 3 or 4 other brothers that be out there stealing to watch out for them and so forth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that she wanted a flyer. Hopefully she comes back one of these days and I'll have a flyer for her.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and that she's going through an abusive relationship, which is why she has a scar on her face. And I was just telling her to get away from that situation and also to repent pertaining to that video in the lesson. It's not a game. This hellfire is real. Judgment Day is real. It's really not a game. And I know we fall and mess up at times. And literally just walking to work today, my heart was heavy because I'm just truly grateful. And I pray all our that all our brothers and sisters really acknowledge the gift that we have, this repentance every day is truly a blessing to get this thing together. And I'll leave off with this, as the scripture mentions, and that's how I try to pertain every day with, as in, I don't know the exact chapter and verse, but I believe Paul said, one man esteemeth every day alike, and another man esteemeth every day the same. So I say this, regardless how we feel on our wake up, if we're tired, if we're going through it, family issues, whatever the case may be, I just say to all the brothers and sisters to do your best to make other individuals' day a blessing as well. Because that one simple conversation, that one little compliment, that one little joy of just being a light, a true light of love and care, and of course to our brothers and sisters in the body as well, it brings something to individuals that it's a blessing to do that, especially at work where some people will say, nobody said, how are you, or spoke to me in general. Like, you were the first person to say that. And I know how hard it is for your job with all the chaos and everything that comes to pass.
Definitely.
Then, like the scriptures say, put hot coals of love on people's heads, basically. So even when you feel that type of fleshly negativity and whatnot, do our best to make every day joyful to not only ourselves and the Most High, but also to other individuals that might be going through something. That's how much power that we have through him and Yeshaya at the end of the day as well.
Con. Well, I'm gonna put you back in the queue. I got some other calls I'm gonna take, but definitely appreciate you calling in, my brother. Continue doing the work, man. Bless you. All praise be to the Most High, man. I got Shay coming in right now, and and what he was saying is very true. We definitely gotta be a light more often and try to show more love. I received that, man. Definitely received that, because you never know. Somebody could just be wanting to hear something nice. They probably at the end of the line, and they probably think about doing something crazy to themselves, and then you come out of nowhere with your love and your kindness, and that kind of reels them back. Like how that example he gave, the sister was thinking about stealing, and he dropped Christ on them, like, yo, I can't be doing this. You never know. You change somebody's life. But Shay, Shalom, what's going on?
Shalom, family. How are you guys?
How are you doing? I'm all right. How you doing, sis?
I'm doing good.
All right.
Brother, if you don't mind following up what Brother Adam said, I'd like to share a quick, about 1 minute little story that ties in with the whole video interview that you sent, that you just showed us.
Yeah, the floor is yours.
Okay. So one of our sisters, I'm in the body of Mobile. We aren't official yet, but you heard Elder, we're coming soon. We're under Atlanta. But one of our sisters actually just passed away. She had cancer. And me and her actually got baptized last year, February 19th. And it was a beautiful experience.
Did she just find out, or she already knew?
I think that she's known for a little bit, but I'm not for sure, Deacon, on how long she's had it. That part I don't know, but she just passed away from that. And when I tell you, the more highlight of the story is not for it to be a somber thing, but it's to tell you how hard that sister has been going, and she blew a trumpet for us. So I'm just passing it on to the rest of the body because it hit all of us, and it really is making us walk this walk extra righteously. But she went very, very hard, traveling back and forth from different cities, states, getting the best medical treatment, just draining of her body. And I tell you, that sister showed up to Shabbat, not for any of us, but she showed up for the Most High. And when I tell you she went away, she transitioned in the most peaceful way possible, with her husband, with her kids around her, with the elders from the church around her, praying over her, asking, going through the steps of how she forgiven who she needs to forgive, and all those things. She transitioned beautifully. And when I tell you that I spoke to the elders, and he is blowing a trumpet to us of how we are to operate, and her husband to, his daily thing was to send us scriptures every single day. And for him, the next day afterwards, to send us the scriptures on dealing with death when he's going through something, is such a beautiful thing for us to see his faith and his courage. And it reminds me of the scriptures of, what shall separate us?
Right. In Romans, yeah.
Yes. So to transition to Elder Loya and the elders talking to us about purpose, it finally zoomed in for me, like what our purpose is. Our purpose is, we are characters in this movie to bring the lost sheep back. And there's sometimes, like the brother Adam said, we are to be joy. There's sometimes where I'll go into a store and I don't want to be that bright light today. I just want to be dim, I just want to keep to myself, get in, get my tacos and get out. Right. And I learned that that's still a form of being disobedience when the Holy Spirit is weighing on you to be that light, to say hello, to say good morning, to do all the things that we're supposed to do. So there was, and I'm going into, what I'm doing to show that I'm leaving the world behind. There was a Edomite lady as well today that came in. She kind of was a little stubborn, didn't really, we made conversation. It was kind of very dry. And I was talking to my coworker because he said he wanted to cook something and would I eat it? And I said, well, I don't eat pork, so blah, blah, blah. So that whole thing sparked her interest. And she was like, why don't you eat pork? And she's like, are you Jewish? And I said, no, ma'am. I said, because in the book of Leviticus, it says, 11, we're not supposed to. And we were whole conversation from that. And when I tell you, she talked nonstop, and she was talking about how, she used to go on that Leviticus diet, and that I just inspired her to go back on it, and that it really is bad for your body, all the foods and blah 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 blah, this, that, and the third. So we really do have to be that light. And my one thing that I'm doing to leave the world behind is me and my husband talked about it, like that there may be a possibility we won't have kids, and that's okay. We have plenty of other people's kids that we can help out, but
that's a good way to look at it.
Is to continue to keep shining, continue to keep prepping, to keep stocking, to just stay tunnel vision and to stay focused And the only thing that I have joy in doing is spreading this gospel. That's it.
All praises be to the Most High. All praises. Well, you keep doing what you're doing, and you know, if it be the Most High will, you know, you guys will have your own children to tend to, you know, if it's His will. But continue doing what you're doing with them. I mean, without them, or if you do have them, that's a good mindset, because some people will get discouraged because they don't have the children that they thought that they were going to have. And you know, they start to blame the Most High. But you know, I'm happy that you guys are in good spirits and you guys are considering, you know, helping those in the body who have children. That's a great way to look at it. Praise the Most High for that. All right, my sister, I thank you for the call. I'm gonna put you back in the queue. You have a good night.
Thank you, brother. Shalom.
All right, shalom. All right. So we're gonna move right along. I got Christopher, then I got Sam, and that is it. Shalom.
Shalom, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear, my brother. So tell me, what are some of the things that you're doing to help you leave this world behind, physically and spiritually?
Well, Deacon, how can I say this? Me personally, I was celebrating, like I say, Carnival, because over here where I live, they celebrate Carnival. And at that time, I was at a Carnival, but now out of years, I don't celebrate it no more. How can I say this? This year, they celebrate Carnival, and thank God I was not there, because they was started fighting, they was stabbing each other, and so most I thank you I was not there, and I was on the day of the feast of Purim.
Look at that, on a day where they should be giving and loving each other and celebrating the fact that the Most High saved us from the hands of our enemies. They over there killing each other.
Yeah, sir. And how can I say this? Yesterday, I thought I cannot go to Purim because I had to go to work, and I prayed to Most High. Most High, forgive me. I cannot celebrate your feast of Purim. But then, you know, I was working, but you know, I say to myself, you know what? Let me see, try it. At least have a congregation. You know, so can listen to the word. You know, and I did not participate. You know, to enjoy the Purim, but at least I was happy I was there in the congregation of Purim.
Well, praise the Most High, because you know, a lot of us got stuff that we have to take care of, and the Most High knows that. The Most High understands that, you know, we can't. There's certain feasts that we would like to keep, but we can't keep it perfectly because we're not in our land. But the most important thing is that you are acknowledging the feast, and you have the desire to want to keep it. So I do believe the Most High will make a way for you, you know, in the future to be able to keep these feasts perfectly.
And Deacon, but so that's why I would say the first thing was leave the world behind is not in the pagan parties, especially in the Carnival. That was horrible. And concerning about the brother have the experience going to hell. I remember my mother. She told me, she told me, I think it was 3 in the morning. It was 3 in the morning. I can't sleep, nothing, not even mother. And then I go to my mother. Mama, how can I say, she was not scared, but at the same time, like nervous. She told me, son, I saw him. And I say, you saw who? I say, she keep telling me, I saw him. And I ask her again, who do you saw? She told me a fallen angel.
Okay. That was in a dream.
I was, what? I say, what are you talking about? Because she told me, the horrible place. And she told me she saw one of them. She told me the fallen angel was beautiful, but at the same time, he have the presence of evil. How can I say this? Of pure darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Mom, thank God, your soul did not go there now that, but she was sweating, she was nervous.
Is she part of the church now?
Yes, but sometimes they obligate her to go to work on the Sabbath.
Okay. Well, as long as she's doing the right thing and she's baptized for the remission of her sins and she's trying to follow the Most High in spirit and truth, she should be protected, right? And Most High have mercy on her. But my brother, I'm gonna have to put you in the queue. I have one more call. But you have one last thing.
I want to tell you one more thing, Deacon.
Yeah, go ahead, real quick.
I don't know if you can see in the camera. I received Jafar, and
you received what?
Jafar. You know the horns from the feast of trumpets.
Yeah. Oh, are you talking about a shofar?
Yes, I received it as a gift. So I thank the Most High to allow me to receive it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
you got that as a gift from Purim.
No, I did not receive on Purim, but it was last week. But I still acknowledge, the Most High to thank you to allow me to receive this gift.
Oh, praise the Most High! All praises. I clap it up for that. All praises. Praise the Most High. All right, my brother. I'm gonna put you back in the queue. It's always great talking to you, my brother. Definitely always great, hearing from my brothers on the island. All praises. Let me get the last caller in. Where did it go? 1 second. I know I had one person left. I had Sam left. If you could unmute yourself, Sam, that'd be great. Because I don't see what the thing went.
Shalom, D.
Shalom. Okay, I hear you. How you doing? What's going on?
Praise the Most High.
All praises. So tell me, man, real quick, how are you preparing yourself to leave this world? How or can you leave this world behind? That's the question. Both physically and spiritually. Are you ready for that?
That part, Deke, is not an issue for me because that's already been done before. As you know, I'm African. I'm from Sierra Leone, and we went through a brutal war back in the 90s, early 90s. As a matter of fact, that's what got me to this country. That's not an issue. But now, being that I understand and know much and seen a lot of things that I've went down, my only concern is, would I be faithful? Would I trust in the Most High and the leadership? And more so, will my righteousness stay intact? Because I don't think people understand war. I praise the Most High. I'm grateful that we didn't went through the brunt of it. Because when it all went down, we was able to clear out, go to a neighboring country and seek asylum over there. So I did not, as my brothers and sisters went through, like bullets flying over the head. But we saw much destruction and all that type of stuff, and having to go through that whole situation where you are uncertain. Because I think this is the thing that people don't need. Yeah, it's good with all that preparing and all that type of stuff. But as Edra said, when we get taken out of houses, and that's when he's gonna know who the true people are.
Right. So wait, on that point,
yeah,
be taking out your houses. What are you doing? Like, so now let's focus on that. Like, what are you doing to prepare yourself? Like, let's say stuff like that happens. Give us some examples of like, what are you doing as far as, preparing yourself to leave this world behind?
Well,
according to 2nd Esdras chapter 16.
Right. For me on that level, because I've acquired a lot of skills, so I know how to live off the land. As far as that part. Growing up in Africa, that was already part of our daily thing.
Right.
Having a fish, having to do this, having to do that, set traps, different herbs you could use and that type of stuff. Even though we're in a different part that most of these things are not here, But to understand that, and wherever we are, to know be handled with a couple of tools, you know what I'm saying? Even dig a well, them type of things. So because those times gonna come. Yeah, you could prepare right now, but once that time comes when you have to leave the house, when you can't bring all these foods that you have with you, what you gonna do at that point?
Right.
Is the main thing. You know what I'm saying? Because that time is gonna come, and it's fast approaching. Because people don't realize, like with us, when that situation happened, it was just one morning we woke up and guns firing. Next thing you know, 3-4 hours or whatever it was, the country was overthrown, the government was overthrown, and rebels are coming, and they are not playing, and they are destroying people and houses and burning things down and all that type of stuff. So, you know, and that's just part of that situation then. And Bible tells us this evil that's coming now is, I don't even know how many times you multiply the type of evil that's going to be at these times, because this is when evil itself will be staring people right in the face, and they're seeing that. And I believe, and I'm saying that's just my belief, I think for some people, I believe the Most High is taking them out the way because they might not be able to survive the type of evil that's coming in these last times, and in this situation that we are facing, especially when we in Babylon. So for me, just preparing my mind and to be able to stand up, to be able to protect, to be able to defend, to be able to go do the little things that need to be done, whether it's hunting or whether it's chopping down trees or climbing a tree or
so you ready? You more than ready.
I mean, these things, I put, that's what I think about. Like I say, but that's why I say my biggest concern is, would I be faithful? Would I be, you know what I'm saying, in those type of ends? Because you could say all you want. Peter said, "Oh, and I'm not gonna leave you, Christ. I'm not gonna leave." When the thing went down, boom, he went to. So I'm asking the Most High now to prepare me for these times, that my mind will not waver, I will not fall to the wayside, or, you know what I'm saying, if situation, because people don't realize the type of evil that we're going to face.
Yeah.
Somebody, you know what I'm saying, say we're in a group and we going through, and the little we got, some group of people try to come take it. Would I stand up or would I fold? These type of things is what I you know what I'm saying, because those times is going to come, you know, but again, you know what I'm saying, people don't realize that these things are real. I've witnessed it. I've seen it, you know, and being that it's going to happen again, especially, you know what I'm saying, us going into the wilderness again, would we be in a position to listen to leadership, listen to instruction? Because in war, that's the number one thing. You don't follow instructions, people would die.
Yeah.
People would die. So, you know what I'm saying? And those are the things that I'm focusing on at this point.
All praises. Well, you know, and I'm happy that, you know, I had you brothers and sisters call in, so that way, if someone wasn't thinking in that type of mind, or didn't have that type of mind set as of right now, there maybe could be starting to formulate that type of processing in their mind right now, because we all need to start thinking like that. Because like I said, everything could be operating right now, and we could go here and move here and do this. What happens if that just all stops? How can we apply what we're learning through the scriptures in Christ and bring it real time and start living it real time, right? But definitely appreciate you calling in. You the last caller of the night, my brother.
Yeah. Thank you, Deke, for taking my call. And Shalom, fam.
All praises. Thank you all for your patience too. Thank you for your patience as well too. You know I had y'all in the queue, but you know, praise the Most High for your patience and allowing me to go through the broadcast. But you know, y'all all have a good night. But once again, the water for the patience. all praise be to the Most High. But yeah, brothers and sisters, I really hope that this broadcast really put some things in perspective for you all, as far as how we should be viewing it. One, on the physical, because you know, we could easily get rid of the physical and be like, I could walk away from this house. I could walk away from $1 million. I hope y'all can. I could walk away from this. I could walk away from that. But what about walking away from things that will hinder your soul, your spirit, from eternal damnation? What about those things? What about the things that we're still dealing with? Issues, backbiting, right? Bearing false witness, fornication, adultery, all of these things that'll stop us from entering into paradise. Are we ready to leave these things behind as well too? So we got to look at both aspects of it, and y'all got to be real with yourself and really ask yourself, like, yo, am I really being a true example of Christ to the world? And that's what we all have to ask ourselves after this broadcast. Are we doing enough to represent Christ? That is the question. But brothers and sisters, you know, I believe that's my time for tonight, right? And we want to give, once again, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Ahaya, in the name of his son, Yeshua, our Lord, our Savior, and our King, for allowing us this opportunity to have this conversation. And I do hope and I do pray that this conversation is eye-opening for everybody. But like I say every week, you know, like all good things, this show must also come to an end.
You could be anywhere in the world, but you're now tuned into the Born of Levi Experience.
Yes. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for making this broadcast what it was. Thank you for those who called in and shared your experiences. And, you know, I want to start doing that more often. Just start putting, like, and I've been saying I was going to do that, and I haven't done that until tonight, right? Forgive me. But I'm going to start putting out the link way earlier so we could make this broadcast a conversation, because you guys bring a lot of great points, and there's in some areas you guys touch on that I miss. So praise the Most High for you all. Praise the Most High for your existence and your walk and your experiences, and I pray that he keeps you all until we see that day, right? That's the mission, right? This race is not to the swift. It's a day at a time, brothers and sisters, right? And let the evils of tomorrow worry about itself. We'll see it when we get there, and we'll handle it then, right? But until then, brothers and sisters, shalom, peace and blessings. Also, happy Feast of Purim for those of you guys who I haven't spoken to. So I just want to say that formally, right? Which for Purim it actually ended last night, sundown. But I'm just going to say it formally. And to those of you who I'll see at the Shabbat, I'll see you guys at the Shabbat. Hopefully you guys are at your local congregation. You guys are linking in with your local congregation and making sure you guys are staying up to date with your leadership. That's very important, right? We see the days approaching. We see what's happening, right? Don't get caught by the wayside. So with that being said, peace and blessings, family. Shalom. Stay prayed up, sin not. And if it be the Most High's will, we will see Zion, right? Shalom.